Whether you operate one forklift or thousands, one location or hundreds, the new My Toyota customer portal can help you optimize your operation and material handling equipment. This one-stop, free-to-use platform is designed to help you take control of your information and make smarter decisions, all at the touch of a button. Register and access your data today at my.toyotaforklift.com. That's my.toyotaforklift.com.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hey guys, it's Kevin with the New Warehouse Podcast, and I am here on site in Houston, Texas at the Nucor Warehouse Systems facility and manufacturing plant, where they're taking raw steel and making it into racking that we put within the warehouse. So we're getting the chance to see the end-to-end experience here of how an order kind of starts and then gets to your facility within the warehouse. And I'm joined by Daniel Aguirre and Carmen Sanchez here. Daniel we've had on before. Carmen is the production supervisor on site in Houston. And we're going to talk to them a little bit about the site, what they have going on here, and just about Nucor in general. So welcome, or I guess thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you for being here, Kevin.
Right? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about where we are, what's going on here.
Yeah, I'll start us off here. Again, appreciate you coming down.
Thank you.
It's always great to have you and have these conversations. But here in Houston, our Texas facility, we're really having an open house to display our manufacturing process. We want to show the community, our customers and partners, what we do day to day to take care of them. Additionally to that is to display our team who really gets it done. You know, they are the frontline teammates who make sure we are taking care of our customers and being safe every day. And that's why Carmen Sanchez, our production supervisor here, she really represents what Nucor and what NWS is getting here in our Houston facility, taking care of one another.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, definitely. We have 150 teammates that make everything possible. Our main priority, right, is to work safe every day. Our main goal is for them to make it back to their families in one piece. We have an extreme talented team. They make anything possible. We always find ways to be safer every day, make quality material, and be productive. We all work as a team. Nothing of this would be possible without any of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I've been here for, I guess it's been about an hour or so now, right? And I could feel that already. I mean, the team is super hospitable in here. They're very helpful. And I think you touched on it there. I mean, safety, right, is such a big thing. I was talking, as soon as I hit the front door, somebody was telling me, no, don't go through that door. We go through this door, right?
Yeah.
There's all this visualization here across the building, and we have the hard hats, everything, PPE. As soon as I hit the door, they're like, oh, we need to get you PPE. We need to do this. And you guys put a huge emphasis on safety. And pretty much every team member that I've contacted here has said something about safety in some way. And it's very evident and present. So talk to us a little bit about that safety culture here on site and just within Nucor in general.
Yeah, definitely. I'll touch on that and then I'll pass it over to Carmen. But really, safety to Nucor and to NWS, it's our core value. Without us being safe, none of this is possible.
Right.
So when you mentioned you come in and that's what you see right away or hear right away, it really is. That is our core value, and we want to make sure we take care of one another, we take care of our customers, because without doing that, none of this is possible. And to really represent and stand behind our core value of safety and our journey to get there every day, we decided to shut down our facility this past Tuesday and have a safety day and make an emphasis of how can we improve our safety and really emphasize taking care of one another and being empowered to have the courage to take care of one another and, call someone out of maybe you're not making the right move in the right door. So we're going to show you the correct path. And we take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, adding to that, I mean, our team has a lot of courage. They'll call something out when it's not safe. The culture that we have is be your brother's keeper, right? Or sister's keeper. Right. And that's very important. Like, if you don't empower your team, they're not going to speak up. So that's one of the things that we really focus on. And hey, whenever they do call something out, hey, thank you for looking out for my safety, right? Yeah. It takes a lot of courage to do that. So it's definitely been a journey for us.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's such a beautiful thing. And I'll say a special shout out to Lorena, who's the one that stopped me.
Yeah, there you go, Lorena. There you go. Good for you, Lorena. Right? Yeah. Proud of you.
So tell us a little bit about, because you can't really foster and develop a safety culture like that overnight. It takes time, right? So tell us a little bit about how you've been able to evolve that and get to that point too, which I think you said something really important there, Carmen, where, if you're correcting somebody on something, like the teammate is thanking you for correcting, right? Whereas, maybe in some not so robust safety culture, somebody might be annoyed by that, right? Or a little ticked off in a sense. Yeah. So how have you been able to kind of nurture that and get to that culture and have that safety culture so strong and robust here?
So every day for us in the production environment, we have a safety topic every day, right? First thing in the morning, we talk about safety, any topics that we need to cover, right? And one of the things that we like to do with our team is empower them. Hey, if you see something unsafe, let's try to find out a solution, right? And empowering more than anything. Don't be afraid to speak up. You never know if that thing that you thought that you should not speak on can actually be an incident or whatnot. So that's kind of the seed that we put in our team, right? To speak up on safety and have the courage.
And just to add on that, as you mentioned, like observations, me coming from multiple different facilities, whether it's our California or Texas or Georgia facility, different eyes are on it, right? So we definitely take time to walk the floor, have safety observations, and also empower our team to speak up, as you mentioned, because seeing something and you can't argue of saying something, of taking care of someone.
Right.
If you are against that, it just doesn't make sense as a human being. So knowing that you didn't speak up, I think would be more painful if someone did get hurt.
Right.
But knowing that you did speak up and you're willing to have that courage to take care of your teammate, it creates a culture that really empowers us to just be better.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's such a great thing because you want to create that culture, and so you want everybody, and even as the signs say here, I think on the door, something about, it's hard to open a doorknob without fingers or something.
Yeah, exactly. Hand safety.
You want people, as they come in the door, you want them to leave at the end of the day the same way they came in, right? So
or even better.
Be safe, right? Or even better. I think, that's a great thing. So you mentioned, Daniel, that you guys last week had a safety day.
Correct.
Right? And you shut down operations across the whole company, right? I think.
Correct. All of NWS.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, because I think like some people have a challenge, I think, with that, right? Like, how do I shut down my entire operation for a day to focus on safety? Like, how can I make that happen? Why would I do that? Maybe some people might even say, right?
Of course.
So tell us a little bit about how you make sure that you can do that, make that time for safety, and all the kind of planning that goes into that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of coordination because, as you mentioned, we're shutting down 3 different manufacturing facilities. Right. And those manufacturing facilities are running anywhere between 1 to 2 shifts a day, pumping product out to take care of our customers and hit that on-time schedule that we need to hit. So the coordination behind that, and again, it goes back to the team.
Yeah.
They make it all possible, and they take ownership and pride of it. Because without them coming together and creating the agenda and creating the coordination of how do we plan a month in advance while communicating to the market and to our customers of what we're trying to achieve with that safety day, it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
So it is quite a bit of effort, but us at Nucor, at NWS, see the value of taking time to make those observations and have that communication about safety outweighs that any day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so important. It's great. I mean, it's amazing that you guys are able to do that and that you put so much emphasis on that. So, Carmen, I know you mentioned, you gave me a little tour earlier.
Yeah.
You guys had some fun with some fire extinguishers on Safety Day.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you guys did on Safety Day and maybe some of the biggest takeaways there.
So one of the biggest takeaways for us is like we had several stations, right? We talked about fire safety, hot work, overhead crane safety.
Right.
We had a station where we showed our team how to use a fire extinguisher in case there's an emergency. We're all empowered to take that initiative, right, and keep everyone safe. if we were ever in those situations.
Amazing stuff. And I think it's such a great thing that you guys put that emphasis, and you can see the visualization all over the place too around the safety. But now let's talk a little bit about like what's happening on site here, right? Because we're going end to end, basically from, you know, just steel, the coils, to the beam, to the racking, the paint across the way. So tell us a little bit about kind of the full end-to-end process that's happening here and how Nucor kind of handles all of that.
Yeah, I'll jump in there, and then Carmen,
Sure.
she could always correct me too, as well, because she understands the day-to-day. But really being part of Nucor, right, the largest steel producer in the United States and also the largest recycler. So to your point about end-to-end, I think it even expands us being part of Nucor as a rack manufacturer.
Right.
And we'll touch on that. But first, just what's going on here. We're taking steel coil, slit steel coil, and roll forming it into a beam or column as a standard roll form racking. We're also doing structural. So you're taking 3 to 4 to 5 inch channel, you're cutting it to length based off the frame height, and then you're punching it to make sure those beams can connect to it. That's the high level process. I know Carmen could touch on it a little bit more if there's anything else to add.
Well, after that, right, we go into our welding our product, getting it painted, and it comes out as a finished good, ready for install.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're able to see kind of the different parts of the process here on site and the different components. And, you know, I know by you guys doing that, right, where, you know, traditionally some companies that maybe are selling racking or something, like they have a separate manufacturer. I mean, you guys are doing, like you said, end to end and even like in a full circle as well, right? So tell us a little bit why does that make such a difference if I'm looking for racking?
Yeah, so really the emphasis we want to put on being part of Nucor, the largest steel producer, and end-to-end. Nucor is the largest steel producer, so they provide our raw material. Our sister divisions provide our raw material. So when we mention coil or channel, the channel's coming out of our Jewett mill, which is here in Texas, and then our coil's coming out of Arkansas. And that material is produced from our raw material, if you really go vertically, is our scrapyard DJJ.
Yeah.
So we could take old racking from a facility or any type of steel scrap, send it to DJJ, which will then send it to our steel producing mills, as I just mentioned, Arkansas or Jewett, melt it down to make us have raw material, which is channel and coil, send it here. And then to Carmen's point, we manufacture that product into a finished good out of our powder coat line. So really we control the full supply chain, vertically integrated, while utilizing the cleanest steel in the United States.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic thing, and I think that makes such a difference too. Like, and I love the fact that you're just recycling the steel.
Yes.
Right. So it's like this was racking in somebody else's warehouse, but now it's going to become my new racking, right? In a sense.
Yeah. Hopefully, we take out some other people's racking and put our new racking there, right?
Yeah. Definitely. So I mean, what kind of difference does that make? Like, if I'm in the market for racking, right? I mean, what kind of difference does that make for me as a customer? Like, why should that matter to me?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, over the past probably 3 to 5 years, one of the biggest topics, whether it's the media and what our consumers and what we're feeling every day, is supply chain.
Yeah.
Having a secure supply chain is so vital to operate your business. Because our customers, right, our dealers, distributors are helping that end user to put up their warehouse so they could actually do their business, which is put their product on a racking and making sure it's delivered to their end consumer. So having a secure supply chain ensures on-time delivery and ensuring that they can operate their business and start turning a profit of what they're doing day to day.
Interesting. Yeah. I think that's so important too. And I imagine too, like, you know, that you control pretty much the whole process, right? I mean, does that allow for more flexibility on a project too? Like, you know, somebody wants to change something, or I know you guys do special colors we talked about too, right? They're waiting on somebody to order pink.
Yes.
I will say. So I'll put that out there. Right?
Carmen definitely wants to do the shout out. Whoever wants to order pink racking here out of this Houston, Texas facility, we'll make it happen.
We want to roll it out here, definitely. But yeah, tell us a little bit about that. Like, you know, if I'm a customer, like, what kind of additional flexibility do I have around the project?
Yeah, so, you know, when you're talking about racking, it's an engineer design product. And at times, when you change that design, we'll change the engineering and change that raw material.
Yeah.
How we control that raw material and that supply chain, we can be flexible. While some of our competitors they don't have that flexibility. So we try to utilize that value and pass it over to our customers. And you could talk about more of the flexibility, what we do here day to day.
Yeah, I mean, our goal is always to make our customers happy, right? We would hate to be the ones that delay a project or them to be right to start whatever they're trying to do, right? So we always find ways to put those projects as a priority, right? And without affecting anybody else.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think we even, some of our unique skill sets here of flexibility, having the support of those sister divisions, but also how we do our layout in our facility at this certain manufacturing plant. Certain tables for welding, certain roll formers are focused. So in a quick of an instance, if we need to take care of a customer or we need to take ownership of something we may have not manufactured correctly the first time, we can make that change and take ownership and provide that solution right away.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's great to have that flexibility too, and the fact that you guys recognize that. And Carmen, as you mentioned, at the end of the day, like, you want to make the customer happy, and that's so important. And I'm kind of curious too, from your guys' perspective, because the culture you've created here certainly is safety focused, as we mentioned, and I think it's customer focused too, based on that line from Carmen there. But I'm curious. You said you have about 150 people that work out of this plant, but how do you maybe go about kind of the interview process, trying to find employees? Because I think sometimes, people in our industry struggle a little bit to find people that are going to fit into that kind of culture and have that mindset. So I'm curious, how do you kind of go about figuring that out if you're bringing in new employees or you're interviewing somebody? What do you look for that says okay, they're going to be a good fit for our safety culture, they're going to be customer focused? Any tips there for people maybe?
I would say our team, I look more like, hey, is it going to be a good fit for our team? Open communication, integrity, which are one of our core values. We also ask about how they feel about safety, right? And kind of have that culture, right, within our team. So.
Yeah, and I'll touch on that too as well. And she's completely spot on of how do they see safety right away? And we're not going to completely push someone out the door if they don't have the exact mindset we have, because it's new to a lot of individuals and a lot of people who are coming into our facility knowing how we value safety. But having the mindset of willingness to learn and willingness to care is all we look for, right? If you care and you want to be part of something bigger and you want to take care of the person next to you, that is truly going to be a perfect teammate for Nucor and really represent of what we're trying to create here as our culture and take care of our customers.
Yeah, I think that's such a great thing. I mean, I think it's really important to, like you said, that the willingness, right? I mean, it's really important. Can you see, because I think too, to touch on the safety culture guy, I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of operations out there that aren't that safety focused. So it's maybe they have never experienced that before, right, in their history. And so, it's great to see you guys are open to that and being able to help them kind of build that and get that culture in place for themselves, right? So very interesting stuff. So now tell us a little bit about, because you guys work with clients of all different sizes, right?
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about, because you're kind of having this open house for kind of the local market. I came from New Jersey, but thank you for inviting me, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you're trying to get involved in the local market and with local customers, and how important is it to you to be able to cater to, I guess, businesses of all different sizes?
Yes, absolutely. As I'm sure many of you may know, Texas is the top 3 largest growing warehouse market in the United States.
Big time.
It's definitely one of the reasons why we have a facility here to support our customers and partners, and also the local economy. We talk about 150 teammates here is to give those families and those individuals jobs to support.
Right.
But additionally to that, what does the infrastructure need from us as a rack manufacturer to support that end consumer receiving that product? So here locally, as it's one of the largest growing markets, that is our focus to support those day-to-day dealers and distributors who are supporting those end consumers with their new warehousing.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's such a great thing to be able to do that, and because I think sometimes we see in our industry sometimes we grab Modex recently, everybody's kind of chasing the logos a little bit in a sense. So it's great to hear that you guys are focused too on like that local infrastructure as well, and being able to grow within the community, as well as service, larger customers too. And I think the flexibility that you have certainly allows that to be a lot easier. So very interesting stuff to talk to you guys here today and learn all about this and get tapped into your culture overall. And it's great to be on site and see this. I know Daniel, we talked a couple times, but it's great to be here and see things happening and see how the process is actually made end to end on that rack and how everything is going. So thank you guys so much for inviting me in here. If people are interested to learn more about Nucor warehouse systems, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, definitely on our LinkedIn or website. You can log in and find out more about us. But also want to thank you for flying out from New Jersey.
Thank you.
You're always welcome. We have our Georgia and California facility. Maybe if you want to take a vacation to California, more than welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
But also to all of our customers and partners out there, we want to thank you guys for everything you do and just giving us the opportunity to support your business. So thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you to Daniel and Carmen for joining me here today and having me into their facility here, and the whole team at Nucor Warehouse Systems. Make sure you check them out on LinkedIn, as Daniel said, and also at their website for all your racking needs.
And don't forget about the pink rack for Carmen.
Pink rack. Maybe we could do like a new warehouse special on pink rack. Like, that would be great. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you both for joining me.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want more content from the New Warehouse, check out our new video series called All Hands on LinkedIn. Just search for the New Warehouse on LinkedIn and follow along.